Have you ever questioned yourself what to eat when you go to a Mexican restaurant? Or have you ever had let's say, a debate between you and your wife or your loved ones regarding what type of enchilada should I try at your favorite Mexican restaurant or even at Taco Bell? There's so many varieties of enchiladas in the Mexican restaurants and in the United States, such as green enchiladas, chicken filled enchiladas, ground beef enchiladas, cheese enchiladas. But have you ever questioned yourself, are the enchiladas I eat the true Mexican enchiladas? Well, today I'm going to show you where the real Mexican enchilada is from, or they come from, and the true secret to the real Mexican enchiladas. And I'm going to show you how to make your own Mexican enchilada so you can impress your loved ones, your friends. And not only that, bring a little piece of Mexico into your kitchen. First of all, let me tell you that enchiladas are not as hard as you think they are. They're a very simple, it's a very simple dish. They're very, very easy to make. They can be a little messy, but once you see the faces of your relatives when they taste the real Mexican enchilada, the mess will be a part of the past. Also, let me tell you that the first time I tasted enchiladas was in a trip I made to Mexico. There, basically, I was very, very impressed because I was used to the taste of our enchiladas. But when I tried the Mexican enchiladas, I knew that the taste of enchiladas I had eaten before were not the same. So I questioned myself, where is the secret to the true enchilada? And when I questioned the chef about it, he revealed that secret to me, and I'm going to reveal that secret to you. Let me tell you that before we start, you will have a little piece of Mexico in your kitchen. The smell of the Mexican kitchen or the Mexican cuisine in your kitchen will be whenever you prepare an enchilada. I will show you how to make the true Mexican enchilada today, and hope that once you learn how to do it, your loved ones enjoy the taste of it. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you some of the not some, but all of the ingredients that you're going to need. Let's start with the red dried chili. I don't know if where you live you might be able to find this. These are called the New Mexico dried red chili. There are 4 types of flavors. They're either mild, medium mild, hot, or super hot. If you're a person that likes very spicy food, take the super hot. I myself prepare the medium. So I have purchased some medium New Mexico dry red chili. You're going to also need some flour tortillas. Make sure they're fresh. Also, you're going to need onions. This is an optional ingredient. If you like onions, I suggest that you purchase the ones you like, either yellow or white. It's very good. Also, make sure you actually purchase monster cheese. In Mexico, they call it Menonita cheese. And a clove of garlic. You're going to also need salt, 1 or 2 tablespoons of salt, depending on what you like. And a glass or a glass and a half of water. These are the ingredients that we're going to need. Now, our first step that we're going to do is first of all, we need to prepare our sauce. In order to prepare our sauce, we need to make sure that we grab our red dried chili, and you check the chili. You can hear a lot of seeds in it, and we want to make sure that when we cook the chili, it has completely no seeds. So what we're going to do is that we're going to top this little tail off. They call it tails, and make sure you empty the seeds as such. If you grab a chili that has no tails, just make sure you cut a little piece and you empty it. Most of the time they hardly have any seeds. Once you do this process to do all the chiles, for example, if you're going to cook for at least 10 or 20 people, make sure you purchase at least a 16-ounce bag of dried red chili. Once you actually empty all of the dried chiles, you put it on a bowl, a deep bowl, and you put all the chiles in there along with the garlic. And you're going to put at least a glass and a half of water, depending on the amount of chili. Just make sure that the water, covers the chili up, and put it in medium heat on the stove. Let it cook for at least 15 to 20 minutes. While our chili is cooking, we want to make sure that we prepare our enchilada fillings. Our filling is basically composed of 2 ingredients: onions and cheese. That's all. That doesn't mean that Mexican enchiladas don't have chicken, or don't have beef, or do not have other type of ingredients. They do nowadays. But the true Mexican enchilada that was actually invented or come to life in Mexico was in the state of Puebla in the late 1800s. And the ingredients I'm going to give you, or the ingredients basically the filling I'm going to tell you, that's the true ingredients that our first enchilada was made of. And that's the cheese. You're going to grate the cheese. And when you grate the cheese, you're going to grate the amount as you please. There's no limit to it. If you're a very cheesy person, make sure you put a lot of cheese. If you're not a very cheesy person, well, just put a little bit of cheese. And you're going to grate it as such. If you like onions, like I said, they're optional. But if you like onions, make sure you chop your onions as such. They don't have to be very fine. And once you do that, you make sure you mix it all together along with the cheese. As such, I have washed my hands. So I like to work food with our hands. They say the flavor of food relies on our hands. So I make sure that I wash my hands every time I prepare food for my family. Once you mix the onions along with the cheese, you put it aside. We go back to the stove, and we find out that our chili is basically already boiling. Let it sit for at least 2 to 3 minutes while it cools down a little bit. Once it's cooled down, you want to make sure that your chili has this type of texture. If you notice, the texture of the chili has changed. This is the texture that your dried chili should have when it's actually cooked. If you notice, it's completely different to what we have here. It snaps. Here, you don't have the snapping sound. Basically it tears down. But you don't have to tear it down. Once you make sure that your chili is made, you're going to get your blender. And you're going to pour all of your chiles in the blender, and the water where you cook the chili, you're going to put at least a cup or a cup and a half of the water, depending on the amount of chili you put as well. Make sure you do not leave the garlic in the water. Make sure you mix it along with the cheese. Then you're going to grab your salt, and you're going to put it in the blender along with the chili. That's the only time you're going to need salt. You put it inside the blender. Once you do this process, make sure you blend it, you chop. You're going to put it in chopping cycle until it's completely chopped and blended for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure it's completely chopped. Once already you find out that you discover that your chili has been chopped and everything, you're going to get a colander. But the secret relies here. The pot where you cook the chili, before you even put it on the blender, there's some water left over. Make sure you throw that water. Do not wash the pot. Make sure, just rinse it out, leave it there, put the colander on top of it. You're going to pour. Our chili should have a paste gravy type consistency as such. If you notice, it's not that thick. Once we do that, once the sauce has been dripped, make sure you put the sauce back in the pot where we cooked our dried chili until it comes to a boiling point on the stove. at medium heat. Once it's already boiled, make sure that we get a frying pan, put at least half a cup of cooking oil. Make sure we grab our tortillas, make sure they're completely formed. This type of tortilla will not help, so make sure it's completely without any tears or anything. We're going to grab our tortillas. We want to make sure our oil is completely hot, and you make sure that your medium or your heat in the frying pan is a medium low. You're going to grab your tortilla, you're going to dip your tortilla in the sauce, bring it up and put it in the frying pan. Make sure it's basically cooked on both sides, 20 seconds on each side, until it comes to this type. Your tortilla should look like this once it's actually cooked on both sides. If you notice, once we do that, we want to make sure we do the same process for as many tortillas as we're going to prepare. Let's say we're going to make 10, we're going to make 15. We want to make sure we do this for all. Once we've done that, we'll come to the good part. Put our filling. Make sure we get our filling. Put it as such. We're going to roll our tortilla like if it was a burrito, as such, and we're going to put it on the plate. Have you noticed? For this they already have prepared this. So it should look something like this, and you're going to top it off with more cheese. If you want the cheese to be grated, make sure you put it on the microwave at 30 to 40 seconds until your cheese is grated. I like it like this. So for me personally, there's no need for it to be on the microwave. So at this point, here are your enchiladas. Here are your true Mexican enchiladas. This is what you eat. You can basically serve them with beans, rice, or just eat them like I do, without anything like that. I usually eat about 2 or 3. They're very filling. It's an excellent meal for vegetarian people that don't eat any beef or meat. So this is a great meal for any person. This is the real taste of Mexico, and the true Mexican taste will be in your kitchen. As an Hispanic, let me tell you that I have shared some of the stuff here, some of the Mexican cuisine. Like I said in the beginning, it can be kind of messy in the stove. But once your friends and your relatives try the true taste of Mexican enchiladas, you will forget about the mess. You won't care about the mess. It's worth the mess. And also, it's not as hard. It's a very simple Mexican cuisine dish. And like I said, I tasted this before in the past, and to be honest with you, I have shared the delights of the Mexican cuisine. Now you can take a little piece of Mexico into your kitchen. The true meaning, the true secret to the Mexican enchilada relies on 2 things. How you prepare your dried chile, make it into the sauce, and the cheese. And like I said, if you have any questions regarding any of the ingredients, you have any concerns, please do not hesitate to send me an email at frank.garcia.jr@live.com. Hope you enjoyed this session of the true Mexican enchiladas, and hope that you decide to make enchiladas for your family today, because I know you and your family will enjoy this dish. Thank you.